Is it connected? I think we're live on YouTube. I think we're live on YouTube, and I think Twitch might be dying right now. Hang on, let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Oh no. Oh no. Is it just my internet? Is there something wrong with my internet right now? Hang on, hang on. Oh, that must have sounded great. I was just like rubbing my headphone against the microphone because it was so close. Oh no, it's not going live. What's happening? Could not start streaming. Hang on, hang on. Okay, there we go. Okay, we should now be live over on Twitch. That was scary. It's telling me that there was like something wrong with like my stream key and everything. And I'm like, oh no, please don't. Please don't. And now it's not working. We're good now. We're good now. Okay, let me just like tweet out that we are live. Let me go ahead and get that link going for everyone. But I almost had a really embarrassing death right before stream started. I took a huge gulp of water and instantly started choking on it. Like the first like little like swallow I had, just instantly I started choking on it. But I was like, you know what? I'm not putting like I have nowhere to spit this out at, so I'm just gonna keep drinking and just hope that I'm okay. That was my logic with it. It was terrible logic. I shouldn't have done it at all. But you know, I'm here. It worked out. I'm fine. Okay, where's the Twitter page? Also, for some reason, Down Bad is trending on Twitter. That's weird. That's weird. It just wasn't what I was expecting to see when I first pulled it up. You know what I mean? Okay, how's it looking over here? Okay, we look to be doing good. Okay. Okay, so really quick, before we get into this, obviously we're going to be playing more of the summer demo. My plan is to try and finish it today, but my hands have been aching a little bit more today than I was hoping for, so if we have to cut it a little bit short, it's not that big of a deal, because next week we'll be going over a lot of the Stream Jam stuff, which I'm super excited to do. I'm super excited to go over and talk about all of it. Like, I was watching Rat stream earlier today, and everything about it, like, they've, like, done such a good job so far, and they've all, like, done so much work, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see like what they get done in like another week, essentially. Because like seeing how far they've all come in like a week, it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are going at it. It's crazy to watch, honestly. So I'm super excited for that. But that's not. It depends on how long that goes for. That will then, if I don't finish summer this stream, we'll just finish it after that, essentially. Because if we don't finish summer, I'm not sure if I'll stream too much after that, just because, like, let's say if I start twofold, then that would go on for, like, probably quite a while, because I want to, like, get into it, essentially. So I'm just kind of saying that, like, yeah, if we don't finish this today, it's not a big deal. We'll just finish it next week. But yeah, no. Also, if you do want to know more about the Stream Jam, and you haven't watched any of, like, the other streams about it, go check out Mari's channel, go check out Rats, and, it's some really cool stuff. It's just cool to, like, watch, like, I don't know, actually getting to see, like, the progress that they're making on all of these games, like, every week, you know? It's just, like, such a, like, an interesting thing that I've always wanted. Like, whenever, like, I hear about, like, oh, like, this game is being made by, like, these people, and it's like, oh, that's, like, really cool. I want to, like, know more about, like, their process with everything. I want to know, like, their thoughts about, like, what they're doing and how they do certain stuff. And, like, so, like, getting to see, like, 4 different games being made over the course of a couple weeks, like, that's really cool and really interesting to me. So I'm really enjoying it. But before we get into the actual game, I want to talk about really quick about why it took so long for me to put up my schedule. Because for those who don't follow me on Twitter, it's like you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But I just vaguely said, like, yeah, no, I got a little distracted. I didn't put it up yesterday. I had to set out some traps. And the reason I, like, said that is because, like, normally I post my schedules on Tuesday. For entirely a stupid joke that only I laugh at and think is funny, I'd always do my schedule, like, I'd put everything out Monday, like, I'd get it all set up on Monday, like, here's what I'm going to be streaming this day, and this day, and this day, and this day, and then I would just always forget about it until Tuesday, so it just turned into a joke in my head of, like, ha ha ha, even though I have it, I'm not going to put it up till Tuesday. Even if I was streaming on Monday, wouldn't post the schedule till Tuesday either. It's the dumbest joke, I don't know why I still do it, but, you know, it makes me laugh a little bit, so that's all that matters, I guess. But yesterday, I had it all ready to go, and I was just sitting on my phone. Like, I had, like, done it all, and I was just, like, taking, like, a small break because I had just, like, got done working, and then I did the schedule. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna go take a short little break to go read a good old book. And while I'm sitting there reading, like, out on my couch, I just see, like, something out of the corner of my eye just keeps zipping past. And I'm like, I kept looking over and seeing nothing there, so I was like, oh, you know, like, the highway's, like, right there, and, like, frequently, like, when cars are passing, or, like, big semis, like, I'll see shadows pass by. It's like, so it couldn't be, like, less of a big deal in my brain. Until one of the times I was just kind of, like, doing, like, a little, like, neck stretch, just because, like, you know, you're sitting there staring down at something for a while, your neck gets, like, a little tight. So I was doing a little neck stretch, and right at that moment, I just see a little mouse just zip past, and I was like, oh no. Oh no. How many of those have I seen? How many of those little guys have I seen zip past? Has it been the same one over and over, or has it been, like, a bunch of different ones? If it's a bunch of different ones, oh my lord, please no. But if it's just the one that's, like, not too big a deal, you know, it's just a single mouse. And I should preference, like, I'm not scared of mice. Like, if it's just, like, a single mouse on its own, then I'm like, you know what? That guy's pretty cute, you know? I'm down with this. But, like, you know, they also carry a lot of diseases, and, like, if they bite you, like, that can be, like, really bad. So, like, again, just all the diseases and everything that they carry, that I'm like, again, I'm not necessarily scared of you, I'm just scared of what you have with you and what you bring into my house that I don't necessarily want, you know? So, like, if at any point you hear me scream and run out, like, it's probably because of the mouse, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Or the mice. Again, we have no idea how many there are. We set out some traps. We haven't caught anything yet, so that's not a good sign. But it looks like the stuff that we put on the traps was messed with, so I don't know if they just stepped onto the traps and, like, got out of it. I'm not sure, which is also a lot scarier if they actually escaped. But, like, I don't know. Again, like, with my logic, like, if there's, like, too many of them, then I don't know how safe I feel to be here. But it sucks because this is where I, you know, I work from home, and I also stream. Thankfully, I work at my parents' house. But if it's, like, if there are too many rats or, like, mice here, because, again, it looked like a mouse. It was pretty small. And this has happened before. And during that time, I literally just went to live with my parents for a few weeks. And I only came back to, like, record and work, and then I just head out immediately after. But this time, but there was only one mouse during that whole situation. But if there were, like, multiple this time, I'm like, dog, I'm one encounter with, like, a room full of mice from just burning the house down, you know? Like, I am so not here for it. And listen. I can absolutely be, like, bullied into surrendering, but I'll be spiteful about it. If I'm losing this house, so are they. They don't get to keep it, okay? If I get kicked out, the house is coming down. And I'm like, listen. We don't negotiate with terrorists here. That's why I've got to burn the house down. It's just that simple, okay? Because, like, my lord, this house is actually cursed. I've described it as, like, a portal to hell to some people, because most of the year I can't go outside without almost stepping on at least 1 to 2 snakes. I have to kill about 4 to 5, like, huge spiders a day. And one point in the past, there were so many bats living in the walls here that at night it would just look like a tornado of bats. Like, some nights you could barely see the house through the bats. And so, like, this is now the second time that we've had a mouse infestation in the house, and it's like, dog, come on. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do outside of just burn it down. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Just because, like, I don't know. With this one specifically, it's like, it's not necessarily, like, anything, like, too bad. Like, I see how the mice got in. Like, not only does my grandma think that a trailer that was dropped off here not too long ago by one of my uncles probably had a lot of mice in it, because after he dropped it off, she saw a lot of mice, like, running and scurrying about. But our garage door has this stupid little quirk of not, like, staying closed. Like, it's, like, convenient when you're, like, carrying stuff that you can just, like, push it open. Like, you don't need to twist the doorknob or anything. But it's gotten worse to the point of, like, if there's any kind of breeze outside, it'll just blow the door open. Like, the amount of times I'll, like, get home from, like, a walk or, like, picking up groceries or something, and the door's just wide open. Like, I've had the thought several times of, like, oh, I really hope that there aren't, like, mice in here now. And then I see the mouse, and it's like, it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. I can't blame it on the house being cursed this time, because it just makes sense. It's unfortunate, but it makes sense. So, you know, that kind of sucks. But it's like, whatever, I guess, because again, thankfully, I keep looking behind me just because, like, there is, like, how all the doors in my house work is, like, they're all, like, an inch or two off of the floor. So, like, you could easily, like, stick your whole, like, hand and probably, like, up to a bit, like, midway up your forearm through under the door before it gets, like, stuck or anything. So I'm like, yeah, no. If anything was in this house, there's no keeping it out, essentially, just because, like, all the doors are open. Again, that's why I'm like, I'm just hoping that it's just the one mouse and that it was just sitting there running back and forth for whatever reason. Because if there were 4 mice, like I was told by some people when I was telling them about this, like, they're like, oh, if like there are that many mice running around, they probably got pushed out of wherever the rest are hiding. And I'm like, don't tell me that. Do not tell me that. Because, like, dude, the videos where people will, like, knock down their walls or like go into like a closet or something, and it's just a bundle of rats or mice, it's just like, that's what makes my skin crawl. Again, like, one-on-one, it's not too big of a deal. It's just a disease they carry. Outside of that, I'm like, whatever, you're a tiny little adorable mammal. That's totally fine. But as soon as it's like there's hundreds of them, it's like, just stop. I hate that so much. But yeah, no. So I saw that. I went and talked to my grandma about it because I was like, I don't know if we have any traps or anything. So like we had to get that all set up. And then I was like, well, now it's late because we had to like get everything all situated, like figure out all the best places to put them. Because we were like, based on where I was running to and from, if it was just the one, we were like, okay, it's probably coming from here or here or here. So let's get a bunch of traps set up. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, it's pretty late now. I'm going to head to my parents' house. And that was just kind of like a normal night after that. It wasn't until like this morning while I was at work where I was like, oh yeah, I haven't posted my schedule yet. And then I had to go to therapy and then come back and finish working and yada yada yada. And so it was just a whole thing. It wasn't up until like 30 minutes ago where I was like, I really need to get that schedule up, otherwise I'm going to be going live before it goes up. And I'm trying to be better than that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be a little bit better. It may or may not be working, I don't know, but you know, I'm doing my best. But yeah, no. So that's essentially what happened. But in other updates, it wasn't last time here where I was talking about the tea. I think it was when we were reading the Headwell Lost where I was drinking the tea. Yeah, no, I think tea's just bad. I think I hate tea more than like almost any other drink outside of like sparkling water or carbonated water. Carbonated water is the actual worst. Tea just sucks. Basically, for those who don't know the lore, for my inflation that I might be having in like my wrist and everything for tendonitis, I've been trying to like switch to an all like anti-inflammatory diet. I haven't been too successful with it. It's been a little bit of struggle. I'm going to be like dedicating really hard to it like for the rest of this week, like trying to really get it better, because I did notice like the first few days of it helped. Oh, I have another thing to talk about that I did talk about last time here though. And then some stuff happened that made me a little depressed, so I was like, okay, well, food's my emotional crutch right now, so I'm just gonna fall back into that. So we haven't made too much progress there, but today I was like, okay, I want to get back into drinking tea, because yeah, after a while it started to taste bad, but like at the beginning it just tasted like warm water, which I'm totally fine with. But I was also like, well, I kind of want to actually like experience what like the taste of tea is, to understand why people decide to put this in their body by choice. So I was like, you know, like maybe like leaving it in there for like the 1 to 2 minutes isn't enough. So like maybe I need to leave the tea bag in there for like 3 minutes. I was like, I'll do like 3 minutes, take it out, be done with it. After that 3 minutes, it went from tasting like just warm water to just tasting foul. It was so gross, I almost had to spit it out, but I was like, nope, gotta get it down, and then I poured out the rest. It was genuinely awful. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the 2 minutes from now on. Just so I can actually drink it and get some of that anti-inflammatory stuff that green tea has in it, like going through me essentially. But it is a foul. I hate it. Oh, I don't. Again, maybe it's just because I have too simple of a palate for drinks, but between tea and coffee, I'm like, dog, I don't understand why people drink these things. They're so... Granted, with coffee, everyone I've ever talked to about coffee says that it's like an acquired taste. Like you have to drink it a lot to start liking it. But once people tell me that you have to like drink something a lot to start liking it, I'm like, I don't know if that's actually like it tastes good. I just think that you're just desperate for it or like really want to like it. So you're just forcing yourself to like it essentially, you know? It's like I don't know if I want to like get into something I need to force myself to like. That doesn't sound too fun. But yeah, no, so again, the tea lore, the tea update is that it just sucks. Maybe I'll just go for like 2.5 minutes, like slowly increase it or like decrease, like do some tests with it, maybe do a little bit of research about how to actually like get it to taste nice. Because again, I'm not trying to be like the generic non-tea drinker thing of, oh, I microwave my water and then I put the tea bag in and that's why it tastes bad. No, I'm trying to like, I'm boiling the water, I'm doing like all the instructions on the back, I'm trying my best. It's just bad. It's just bad. I don't know what else to say. And then in terms of like the other stuff that I talked about last time, I talked about last time how on the 9th, so a few days ago, I was going to go in and get looked at and maybe have like a surgery done, like have like cameras inserted and stuff like that into my wrist to see like if they can figure out exactly what the issue is, so then they know exactly like how to approach like my recovery. So I waited for that. I went into the appointment, and the appointment basically boiled down to the guy took a look at me, and by took a look at me, he said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I said, "I'm still in pain." And then he went, "Okay, well, there's nothing more that I can do for you. I don't really, like, I'm going to send you to this other guy because he'll know what to do better with you. He's better at the surgery than I am. He knows more about hands and wrists." And I'm just sitting there like, why didn't you send me to him a long time ago? If you just think that this guy's better than you, I don't get it. But I'm also kind of like, I do appreciate you being honest that you think that this guy's better at doing like the surgeries and he knows more about the hands and wrist, like for my sake. Because like if you weren't confident in your own ability to do surgery on me, then I'm glad you didn't do it on me and you were upfront about it. Like I do really appreciate that part. So, but it does just suck because apparently this guy is like super duper popular. Like he even like works at like a college and I think he teaches there, and he has like he's like a huge deal. The issue with him being a huge deal, though, is that he's about a month to 2 months booked out. So it's going to take a while before I can get into him. So I'm going to keep going with, like, the anti-inflammatory stuff and still trying to approach it from, like, a chronic pain perspective of, like, doing a lot of stuff to, like, reset, like, how your brain processes the pain. Because, like, it could be, like, a combination of the two. It could just be one or the other being tendinitis or some other, like, very physical, like, cause. Or it could be chronic pain where I just need to work on the mental side of it to, like, either get rid of or reduce the pain, essentially. Because, like, again, the pain could be, like, pretty far gone. Like, I could be pretty, like, healed, a lot more healed than I think I am. But because, like, my body's so used to the pain, it's like, no. Your pain's set at, like, this, like, little range where it's, like, always going to be at least, like, bad to terrible, like, So I'm trying to approach it from both angles just to see if I can get anything to stick. And I want to keep doing that for the next 2 months, because like if like either the diet or like everything to do with like the chronic pain, like the mindfulness, the meditations, the yada yada, all that kind of stuff can like get rid of it and I don't need any surgeries for it, 2 thumbs up for me right there. I would love that. But if not, then I guess at least it'll be over, because again, this guy's like the best at like hand stuff like around, so I'll super take that. But I think with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into the game, because I am very excited to get back into this. I loved what we did last time, and there's like 2 parts to me right now. It's like how I go with like all of these visual novels that I end up loving. It's like I really want to keep reading it and go further and like get through it, but then there's the other part of me that's like, but I also don't want to finish it because I really do enjoy it and I don't want it to be over yet. And that's how I already feel with this game, because I'm like, oh, it's just a demo. It's just a demo. I'm going to finish this demo, and then I'm going to have to wait for the rest of it. Oh, no, that's going to be terrible. But that's also just a good sign, because that means, like, there's something really good to look forward to in the future, essentially. So it's like, it's a double-edged sword, where it's like, like, I love it, and that sucks because I don't want it to be over yet, but I love it, which means I'll be really happy when the full game comes out, essentially. So I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I do kind of know how to feel about it, but it's like, it's complicated. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on into it. I need to switch over to the game scene. I was just going into it, man. I was just getting ready. There we go. And actually, let's actually get the game audio going. There we go. Hello? Oh, there I am. I just took a second to load it. Hello. Also, I came to a terrible decision. I realized I don't think I used the mouse enough to gesture towards things to warrant having it on the screen. So the mouse is gone. I know, everyone's big sad. It sucks. It's the worst. But I realize it does look pretty bad when it's on screen or when it's like over on the sides or stuff when I'm using it. And again, I don't use it enough for it to be worth it to me at least. So it's gone now. But yeah, with that being said, let's get into it. Despite doing my best to sleep in, I wake up earlier than I'd like. I even skip my morning coffee and hope that it'll let me fall back asleep. But that doesn't seem to work. Oh, it's not clicked on. Oh, that was weird. Okay. I've always been the kind of girl to schedule my doctor appointments and everything else as early as possible, because I hate waiting for the right time to roll around. But since there's nothing I can do about Hannah's schedule, I'm left to buzz with excitement around the house. Sitting in my bedroom, it's hard for me to stay focused on the game I'm trying to play. After messing up a jump that I know I'm capable of for the 5th time, I save and turn it off. With Quinn and Izzy, there wasn't any time to be impatient. Now there's more than enough. I get so desperate, I even do some extra chores I've been putting off, like weeding the garden. After showering and getting dressed, I'm reduced to spinning circles in my desk chair for a while. When it's late enough that I can convince myself I won't be too early, I burst out of my seat and hurry downstairs, stumbling a bit from dizziness.
Off to meet Hannah?
Yep. What's with the smirk?
Nothing. I'm sure she'll be thrilled to see you.
That's not a nothing smirk. That's a there's something I'm not telling you smirk.
You'll understand when you're older, sweetie.
I'm 23.
Still a long way to go. Now scoot, don't keep Hannah waiting any longer.
I'm probably gonna be waiting for her, but yeah, I'm off. See you, love you, bye!
I barely said goodbye before I'm out the door and on my way to the local station. I'll be going to CC after I meet with Hannah, so I bring my jacket just in case. Arriving right when the train does, I hop on and get whisked off towards Fairmorn Station. Even with the stops along the way, I still arrive ahead of when Hannah should. As the biggest station in Willowmere, Fairmorn is also the only one with a line, why did I say it like that? With a line that runs between here and the city of Petalstreak. I love these names so much. She'll be on one of those. Of course, it's also the busiest station. That's even more true today. I imagine a lot of folks here have company arriving for the concurrence, on top of all the other normal travel reasons. For the few tourists that do come to Florel under normal circumstances, this time of year is perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, and with plenty of opportunities to relax. Sitting on a bench out of the way, I wait. I try and fail to relax. The signboard detailing all the arriving train ticks down the minutes to Hannah's arrival. Ever since I was a kid, just being at the station was a reason to be excited. It either meant we were going somewhere or someone was coming to see us. Even though my moms and I never went further than Petalstreak, it still felt like an adventure. Now waiting for Hannah, I feel that same excitement. Finally, I get up. There are lots of other people around, standing patiently. I stand impatiently. The signboard dings before broadcasting an arrival message in several languages. The train appears in the distance. The open-air station providing a clear view of the fields. The track runs through. As it gets closer, a loud rumbling fills the air, shaking the ground underfoot. That rumble turns into a quiet hiss as the train slows to a stop alongside the platform, and everyone backs up a bit to give space to the folks disembarking. A tide of people flows out, some walking on and out of the station, others finding the people waiting for them and cascading into hugs and greetings. Standing on my tiptoes, I scan the oncoming faces, looking for any sign of Hannah. There! Oh my god, she's so pretty, and the color of her hair looks so freaking good. Oh my gosh. She's adorable. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. A white hat fluttering in the breeze and a hand holding it in place. As a gap forms in the crowd for a moment, I get a glimpse of Hannah's face as she moves in my general direction. She walks slower than most others, and it isn't too long before the crowd moves on, leaving Hannah on her own towards the back. She... ... Hey Theo, how's it going? Glad you could be here. Oh, yeah, no, she. As soon as she popped up, I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt my heart skip a beat. Holy cow. Oh. I dart towards her, waving. Hiya, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you feeling after getting like everything like? Hang on, I don't want to spoil too much of the stream jam, just so people can go back and watch Rat's stream. But how are you guys feeling after like all of the work you've done so far on everything? Because like, my golly, you guys have. I just said my golly. Sometimes I just speak and just words come out. I'm like, I just sound so old already. But it's like, oh my gosh, you guys have done so good so far. It was just incredible seeing like everything that everyone's done. Also, I need water. All good. I'm actually working on the game right now. It's so fun seeing everyone's stuff on stream too. It so is. Like, I'm so excited for next week because I'm like, I just want to talk about it. I want to see everyone like gets like close to or either finishing their stuff. Like, I'm so excited to see it all. And I'm so glad you could be here while you're also like working on stuff. Now, like, make sure you're taking care of yourself and everything. Is like, it sounds like you guys are pushing yourselves hard, but like, you guys are killing it. Thank you again for being here. I dart towards her, waving.
Hannah! Hannah!
It takes her a moment to figure out who's yelling for her. I see her look around just like I was a second ago. I hold my hand high overhead, calling her name again. As she finally sees me, she comes to a stop, mouth falling open in a perfect O. I hurry towards her, dodging around the last few people in my way. Hannah stands there. I do my best not to keep her waiting. Unlike when I ran into Quinn a few nights ago, this time I'm able to bring myself to a respectable stop. She quickly adjusts her bangs and repositions her hat before facing me with a bright smile.
Summer, you're here.
A tinge of red crosses her cheeks.
You bet I am.
I pull her into an... Oh my gosh, she's adorable. I pull her into an embrace, being careful not to crash into her too hard. That doesn't stop me from wrapping my arms around her so tightly her hat almost falls off again. Hannah's always been the one I don't have to worry about hugging. Sometimes she's even huggier than I am. After a second shock, I feel her squeeze me back.
I missed you so much.
There's a tremble in her voice that I've heard many times before. I let go of Hannah and she rubs one eye.
Oh, no. Don't cry. You're gonna make me cry too.
She half laughs, half sniffles.
Too late. It's happy crying, though. At least I managed to wait until I got off the train.
Don't worry. I had my happy tears too. And I'm sure there'll be more. You haven't gotten the real summer waterworks yet.
I've missed those too. I've seen plenty of people in tears, but it's usually over homework and exams instead.
Ah, yes, the fun of college life. I've been seeing that a lot too, as a lot of my friends have been going back for the current semester. They just love school. It's such a fun time.
There's plenty more where this came from. Trust me. Let's go. Can I help you with your stuff?
Oh. Sure, thank you.
In addition to the bag she's carrying, Hannah has an automated bag that rolls along. That's awesome. It's connected to a small transmitter that's in her handbag. I know this because she's had it forever. Izzy used to love taking that transmitter and getting Hannah's robo bag to follow her around, sometimes without asking Hannah first. Hannah gratefully passes me the other one, rubbing her shoulders once it's free. I can see why. It's a lot heavier than it looks.
Ugh. What's in this? A bunch of rocks?
Some, yes. Amongst other geological samples.
Oh. I thought I was just making a joke.
Good thing I'm here then, huh?
Yes. You've always shown up at the perfect time in my life.
Oh? Oh? We start walking slowly towards one of the other platforms, where Hannah will catch her train back home, and I guess where I'll catch mine too. For the first time since we met up, her face falls just a little bit.
Although...
What's wrong?
Nothing at all. I'm just...
She halts, looking a bit Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I was like, they've already hinted at that stuff, and like, she's playing it into it like a little bit right now, and she's already like made a couple hints at it, and Summer's just sitting there like, I don't get it. I'm a little too dense right now. I don't understand. Like, I'm sure I was thinking the exact same thing, like her mom was at the house and just being like, oh yeah, like Hannah's always like, you know, loved having you around. She's never gonna like not want you to be there, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah. I can't wait for Summer to realize. She halts, looking a bit nervous.
Why now? Don't get me wrong, I was very glad when you messaged me, but After all this time, what changed?
Okay, well, we don't need to make it sad. Biting my lip, I look down at the floor.
Nothing, really. Not me, at least. I never stopped wanting to talk to you guys, or for things to be any different than they had been. But then, stuff happened, whether I liked it or not. And I didn't know how to deal with that. I guess I figured that whatever was going on had to be what everyone else wanted, too. Maybe that was just what growing up was like. It's normal to drift apart or go in different directions, I think. You know, I never cared that much about normal, though, but I figured it was just me. That if you or Quinn or Izzy wanted anything to do with me, then you'd tell me. And so if I didn't hear anything, that just meant it was on purpose. You all had your own lives to live and dreams to fulfill, and those didn't have to include me. I basically told myself I was okay with that. Only, I wasn't. I never was. But by the time I admitted that to myself, it felt like it was too late. I didn't even realize I was stuck going round in circles. Not until the other day, when I ran into Quinn. Just out of nowhere. So I just told them how I was feeling. That I wanted to see them again. I was kinda surprised when they agreed to it. After that, I messaged you and Izzy too. Up until the minute you said yes to meeting up with me, I was ready for you to say no. Sorry it took me so long.
Wiping an eye, Hannah shakes her head. I chose the worst moment to take that drink. It was like right before she finished talking. I was like, you know what, my mouth's a little dry. I should take a drink. Wiping an eye, Hannah shakes her head.
Don't be. I said you're always right on time, didn't I? To tell you the truth, I was feeling the same way, more or less. When I heard about Quinn leaving and about how upset they were, I wished I could have gone back and changed my mind. The stupid exam I was studying for got rescheduled anyway. I told myself it was just the kind of sacrifice that I'd have to get used to making. Having friends would just make it harder to find time for all the work I had to do.
That was like the most like involuntary reaction like that I've had to like a game like this or like a story in general in a while. That is unironically before I got like all like the tendonitis and carpal tunnel. Like I was way too much of a workaholic. I was constantly either working on something for like YouTube or for like my writing or for art that I felt like I was like blowing a lot off like a lot of like social parts of life. And that this is like unironically a thought that I've had at one point in the past, and so like her saying that, I was like, oh I feel so seen but also so called out right now. Oh no.
Then, after a year of living like that and being ready to drop out, I realized I couldn't keep being on my own the whole time. I started accepting some of my roommates' invitations to spend time together, and went to some study groups. I've met a lot of very kind people that I'm happy to call friends, but I've still never met anyone else like you and Quinn and Izzy.
Gently setting Hannah's bag of rocks. I forgot it was actually a bag of rocks. Gently setting Hannah's bag of rocks on the ground, I give her a second, equally gentle hug. I've been doing this a lot lately, but I don't care. For a moment, we blend in with everyone else, waiting here at the station. Another joyous reunion.
Come on. I guess we should go sit down, right?
With a nod, Hannah follows me the rest of the way to one of the benches. The signboard, which couldn't get to Hannah's arrival fast enough earlier, is now racing towards her departure. It's 7.5 minutes away to be exact.
I want to hear about everything at some point, you know? School, friends, all of it.
Of course, I'll tell you everything. What about you? How have you been?
I've been alright. I've stayed here in Florel, mostly helping out Cece. I've got a radio show that I do every week, where I get to play music and talk about what's on my mind. Still never been off planet.
Because of your mom?
Yeah, she makes the best of it. She and Ma even went on a low-altitude trip a while ago. Her body is fine as long as she doesn't try to go past her atmosphere. Ma still won't leave the planet without her, but they both love it here in Florel, so it's not like that's a problem for them.
I found that I like Florel a lot more after spending so much time away from it. It's nice to come back to.
What about Talavi? Have you gone back there at all?
once for a class trip. It was nice to see, but even I was surprised that it didn't feel like home at all anymore.
It's been a long time since you first moved to Florel. Longer than you even lived there, right?
Yes, by about a year or two. When I was there, I was thinking about soil composition and atmospheric particles more than childhood memories.
Do they have good dirt on Tel Aviv?
Not as good as on Florel. The soil is much less nutrient-rich compared to here, so the flora isn't as robust. However, it gave me an idea regarding the atmospheric interaction with Tel Aviv's plants. In fact...
Hopping to her feet, Hannah launches off on a spirited tangent that goes way over my head. With a smile on my face as I nod along is genuine. It matches the passion that she clearly has for what she's explaining to me. Oh, Summer's so real for this. That's one of my favorite things. Like, one of my friends is like, I don't want to go too much into the details, mostly because I'm too stupid to get most of them, but he does some, like, government work, and, like, he likes talking about it, but he doesn't, like, feel like super comfortable. Like, he used to not feel super comfortable doing it, just because he's like, well, like, the people that I'm talking to don't, like, really get it, outside of, like, who the people I work with, but I'm like, dog, just tell me about it. I like hearing about it because it's something you're passionate about. It doesn't matter if I get it, it's just that you want to talk about it. That's what's important. So, like, this right here... Wait, what the freak? My mouse is back on the screen. I thought it wasn't there. What the freak? I was lied to by the settings. Anyway. It's fine, I guess. But yeah, no, I get this. It's so fun just seeing people, like, be passionate about stuff. I love it.
Anyway, as I was saying, that's the third sample that I brought. There's one more which I intend to analyze over this weekend once I'm home.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to be on vacation, not doing homework.
Oh, this isn't for school. It's for my own curiosity. In fact, I had to argue with customs just to be permitted to bring them home. But I do also have homework. My capstone project. I've been working on it since I first enrolled.
For that long? How huge is this thing? I know you haven't been putting it off.
It's something all graduating planetary engineers have to do. We need to complete a full design and specs, and then submit it to one of the guilds. It doesn't have to get chosen to be made, but it has to be eligible.
Whoa, that's amazing. Seriously.
Well, I haven't done it yet. And like I said, all of my classmates have to make one as well.
That doesn't make it any less amazing. Just means your classmates are great too.
That's true. Anyway, sorry to ramble like that. I'm sure you don't care about dirt and rocks.
How dare you make that assumption? I care because you care.
I do. Just maybe not quite as much. Don't apologize though. I like hearing about it. So, what's it like studying planetary engineering? As much fun as you hoped?
Definitely. This next year, my final year, is going to be difficult. But I'm really grateful for all the experiences it's given me. I've been to many other planets that are much more interesting than Tel Aviv by now. All for school trips, of course, so there's never been any time to really explore and learn about them as much as I'd like to. But even a few days or a week teaches me plenty. I'm glad I got to see so much while I still can.
Before I can answer her, the station starts to shake. At first, I think it's a train arriving, but there aren't any in sight. Then I realize what's happening. I step forward and put a hand on Hannah's shoulder to help her keep her balance.
Is this an earthquake? I didn't think Florel...
Not an earthquake. You might want to cover your ears.
The second the words leave my mouth, the celestial noise starts up. This is my first time being out in public when it happens, so I'm fascinated by others' reactions. A few people stop or cover their ears, while others carry on like nothing is happening at all. You can definitely tell who's arriving from somewhere other than Florel, because most of those folks look around in confusion. Then there are some people like Hannah who simply stop and listen. When it ends a few seconds later, she steps away from me, looking even more excited than when she was talking about dirt.
What was that?
I think this might be the first time Hannah's ever asked me that question, instead of the other way around.
We've been calling it celestial noise. It happens almost every day. Kind of annoying, if you ask me.
I can't wait to learn more about it. It must be related to the cosmic concurrence, right? I've been checking the observation department's board every day for updates, but I hadn't read anything about this.
Well, it's definitely been happening for at least a month now.
I almost mentioned how frequently I complain about it, but I hold myself back. Hannah seems really impressed by it, just like I was at the park a couple days ago. No need for me to spoil that.
I hope so. I've been looking forward to the concurrence for weeks. I made sure I'd be home in time to see it.
Not much longer to wait. I can't believe it's tomorrow.
The signboard near us plays its jingle and an arrival message, jerking both of my Hannah's attention to it. At the same time, the train that Hannah's waiting for comes into view. I feel disappointed at the sight of it.
Guess this is it for today, huh?
Oh no, please don't.
Yes, but just for today. I'd like to see you again, if that's alright with you.
Yes?
All right. I was trying to think of a way to ask you that.
It's settled then. I'm glad you came to meet me here.
Both of us have to wait a second before saying anything else. As the train comes to a noisy stop beside us, the doors open and Hannah lifts her bag, automated luggage rolling behind her.
See you soon.
Definitely. See ya.
I wave until the doors shut behind her. The train takes off, heading towards her parents' neighborhood and leaving me on my own. As it disappears from sight, I fall back onto the bench I was sitting on, my legs suddenly weak. I've gone past the point where it feels unreal. Now I have to figure out what comes next. Fortunately, I have the next few hours planned out for me. I wait for the train that will take me to CC, where we're doing some final prep and sorting out the latest arrivals. It keeps me on my feet and busy all afternoon until it's time for my show. After one last debriefing before the big day, I say goodbye to everyone else and head up to the radio room. Reaching the top of CC, the doors slide open with a pleasant ding. This is almost as high up as it goes. The only stop above this one is access to the clock tower. I step into the radio room, my home away from home. There's an organized, familiar chaos to it all. Stacks of recordings that are older than any of us cover the tables and shelves. To play it, you need equipment that's hard to find, even on Florel. I'll bet most planets don't have the capability at all. Near the front, there's a desk that's perpetually covered in papers, which are perpetually covered in coffee stains. The papers and the stains themselves cycle out as Manny, the radio program's director, gets through them, but they always manage to get replaced. Looks like I'm too late to catch Manny himself today, but he's left the lights on for me. Before I get set up at the radio, I grab the watering can that we keep in the corner and take care of all the plants. This room gets a lot of natural light, so we have extra plants to take advantage of it. Even by Florelian standards, it's kind of excessive, but that's just part of what makes it feel like home for me. They hang in planters, sit in pots, and even grow up the walls in some places.
Drink up, buds. You've got to keep up with the boys outside getting all the rain.
When I'm done, I pour my own cup of water and sip it while I collect my thoughts. Usually I'll spend the time before my show planning what I want to talk about. Most of the time it's coming up with something interesting to say, something they haven't heard from me before. Right now, though, it's hard for me to think about anything other than my friends. That addictive rush of conflicted excitement. Finishing my drink, I slide down into my chair. The broadcast system up here is pretty simple. I can play stuff from my phone, or I can hook up any of the analog devices that we have laying around. I pretty much always use my phone, but I know a few people who prefer discs or tapes. They say there's just something appealing about the physical involvement of pressing the play button. There are about 4 or 5 of us at any given time who do radio shows. Mine's one of the longest running. It's that way with a lot of folks at CC. They spend a year or two here, and then they're on to bigger and better things. Not me, though. I'll probably still be here when I'm 40. As far as futures on Florel go, the idea doesn't bother me much. When everything's set up and ready to go, I center myself with a deep breath in front of the microphone before I hold down the broadcast button. I feel jittery in a way that I haven't since I first started my show a couple years ago.
Hey there, Willowmere. It's me, Summer. It's been... oh, boy, it's been a crazy few days since the last time I was here. A lot of stuff that I never thought would happen happened, and now I'm still trying to figure it all out. Have you ever really wanted something, and then once you have it, you don't know what to do with it? Like, you didn't really expect this wish to come true, so you didn't plan this far ahead. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
I know she's being like kind of vague about it, but it'd be so base if Summer just started venting about like the past few days to like the entire town. That would just be so cool of her. I'd be so down for it.
See, I have these friends.
Oh.
I was worried that I couldn't call them that anymore, because it's been years since I've seen any of them. I won't go too into it. Anyone who would actually
Dang it,
care
no,
really
go
knows
more
all
into
about
it. It'd be funny.
I was worried that maybe they hated me, or they'd never want to talk to me again. Because if they did, then they would have, right? That's what I told myself. But then, this past week, I got to meet up with all of them. And surprise, surprise, they don't hate me. I still get to call them my friends after all. It felt so good. It felt like a part of my world that was missing came back. Now, I'm worried about losing that part again. I got a second chance I didn't expect, and I don't want to blow it. I mean, these are rare enough as it is. No way do I get a third try. Right now, it feels like anything could happen, good or bad. That's really scary, because I haven't had anything to lose before. Not for a while, at least. So that's what's on my mind tonight. But enough for now, here's some music.
I take my finger off the button and let the mic go cold as I load up the first couple tracks. It's nice to imagine that people listening to my show like hearing me talk, but I'd be just as happy to find out that there are folks who tune in because they have the same taste in music. At least that way there's something we both like. Besides, I think there's kind of a connection that you automatically have with someone who also enjoys the same songs as you, something that resonates in both of you. I think that goes beyond any words I could say anyway. Besides, I don't know who else might be listening. I let my thoughts drift in that direction while I stare out the window, just swaying to the sounds. A few songs later, and I go live again. Even after pressing the button, it takes me a second to start talking.
Still here, still summer. Hope you're having a good evening here in Willowmere, or a good morning or day or whatever if you're somewhere else. I was just thinking about music and how it connects us. First time someone's ever thought about that, I'm sure. But mostly, I was thinking about how cool it is when you meet someone else who likes the same stuff you do. It's nice to just automatically understand someone like that, and be understood. I don't know why I can only say these things here, where it's like nobody's listening, when actually there are a lot of you listening. At least, I hope there are. Man, that's embarrassing though, too.
The thought of potentially hundreds of strangers listening to me whine about my life is vaguely mortifying, but it's also kind of freeing. I kind of want to imagine, like, I kind of want to see, like, if any of her friends were listening to this broadcast, like, what their reactions to it would be. Like, would they be like, man, I'm gonna feel really bad when I leave here in a couple days. That's gonna really suck for her, it sounds like. Yeesh. Like that kind of thing. Like, I think that'd be a fun little scene to get. So what if I embarrass myself or overshare a little? They can listen to another station. And if anyone I do know happens to hear this then, it's not like I'm saying anything I don't actually want them to know. Like always, the rest of my show passes on the same way. Long stretches of music intersped with me talking. Before I know it, nighttime has set in. With only 22 hours in a Floralian day, it doesn't take long from twilight to no light. As the final note of the final song fades away, I clear my throat, and then lean into the mic for the last time.
Alright, that's it for me. The CosCon is tomorrow, so who knows? Maybe our worlds really will change after seeing it. Maybe we'll be different people next time. Guess we'll find out. Good night, Willowmere.
Flicking everything off, I shut down the broadcast equipment for the night, but instead of getting up, I remained seated for a little bit longer. Somewhere out there, out my window, I know that 3 of the lights on the horizon probably come from Hannah, Quinn, and Izzy, closer to me than they've been in years. All of us here together in one place again.
I can't mess this up.
Slowly, I rise, turning off the lights and saying goodnight to the radio room and to Cece. Part of me feels like, I don't know, part of me is kind of thinking like there's nothing special that's actually gonna come from like the cosmic concurrence. Like this isn't me being like, this is just like kind of the vibes I'm getting of it being like going back to like what happened last time, where what was her name? Olitha was just kind of like, "Hey, listen, dog. Life's way too short for you to wait for something amazing to happen. You got to go out there and like make something amazing happening." And like with how much like weight is being given to like how special and like how like great this like CosCon is going to be, part of me is like, is anything gonna happen, or is it going to be kind of like a physical showing of like, hey, you can't just wait around for amazing things to happen. You got to like go out and do those things. Essentially, like, I'm not like saying that's what's gonna happen. Those are just kind of like the vibes I'm getting right now. Exiting the community center, I follow the lamplit path back towards home, but before I've even made it out of Willowmere proper, my phone buzzes in my pocket. I slide it out, expecting to see a message from one of my parents, and nearly drop my phone in shock when I see who it's actually from. Quinn? Normally they'd at least get, like... Wait. Normally they'd get at least a skipped heartbeat from me, but it's the fact that their message is a group message. Oh, let's go! And not just one they sent to me. That gives me that true loop-de-loop feeling in my stomach. I have to stop walking, because suddenly all my energy has gone to making my hands and knees shake.
Get it together, Summer.
It's just a text message, and I don't even know what it says yet. I just see the icon from our ancient group chat, some joke I don't remember anymore, alongside Quinn's name on the notification. Steeling myself, I unlock my phone and open the message, all in one swift motion. Hey, I was listening to Summer's radio show, and I needed to tell you guys that I don't hate you. I'm sorry for leaving how I did. I miss you all. Oh, let's go! It's barely a single line long, but I read it again and again. In classic Quinn fashion, it's almost painfully short, but it doesn't waste a word. In fact, coming from them, it's extra meaningful. I can practically see them blushing as they force themselves to be dishonest. I can read. And I'm still staring at the screen. Another message pops up. This one's from Izzy. You were listening too, huh? 2 out of the 3. Right as I think that, green dots appear in the corner and then disappear. This happens a couple more times. Hannah's always taken a while to respond. Also, that's so me. The amount of times I'll be in a group chat and like type something out, delete it, type something out, delete it, type something out, delete it, and then I look up like, oh, it's been 30 minutes that I've been working on this one message. I should probably just send the next thing I finish. It's such a fun time. I realize that I've started walking again. I'm not even sure when. I feel like I'm on autopilot. Finally, Hannah's reply comes through. I heard it too. I had hoped that I wouldn't be the only one. I feel the same way. 3 people, 3 messages. 3 lights scattered across Willowmere. I stop and look around. Now that it's my turn to reply, and where I am couldn't be more perfect. I take a seat on one of the swing sets, and then take a picture of the park. I figure I said all the words I needed to already, back in the radio room, so I just send the picture, knowing, not hoping, that they'll understand. Then smiling, I slip my phone back into my pocket and wait. So my feelings did manage to reach them after all. Even though I couldn't say it to their faces, a part of me was hoping for that. By putting on my radio voice and detaching myself a bit, it was easier to be heartfelt and honest. That's probably something I should work on. Either way, I got the job done. Now I feel strangely at peace. The frantic agitation I felt just a little bit ago went away pretty fast, scrubbed off by my friend's words. My friends. They heard all of it, I assume. My fears and worries, and how I felt about seeing them recently. They heard all that and still sent those messages. Ma's never gonna let me live down how right she was when she hears I was just worrying too much. But I know that'll only be because of how glad she'll be to know it. I guess I can let her have it this one. Standing, I take a few steps back and then kick my feet up, letting the swing do its thing. Up and down, back and forth. The only real limit on how high I can go is my own 2 feet, dragging along the ground beneath me. Before it's been too long, a figure starts to approach from the darkness. As they get closer to the light from the lamp, I recognize Izzy's shock of purple hair and lanky walk.
Hey!
I call out, not too worried about keeping quiet. There's no one else around to disturb us. For us to disturb. Izzy looks around at the sound of my voice and then spots me, approaching with a wave.
Yo!
You sure got here fast?
Yeah, I was in the area. Had to drop something off for my bro, and then I took a nap downtown.
You just fell asleep in town, huh? Alright.
Wasn't totally sure you sent that picture in like a, hey, come here where I am way, but looks like I got that one right.
You sure did.
I pat one of the empty swings next to me, and Izzy climbs onto it. balancing like she's on a surfboard. The sweet swirls and the chains twist, but she manages to keep her balance somehow. Hannah's the next one to arrive, a few minutes later. We can hear her footsteps tapping down the path before she arrives, each one even and precise. She spots the two of us right away and approaches.
Hannah!
I wave, which she returns.
Hey, Hanners!
Izzy waves too, letting go of one of the chains. For the first time in years, Hannah and Izzy look at each other face to face. Hannah sighs, but I can see her biting her cheek to not laugh.
You're going to fall, you know.
I'm not.
Izzy's foot suddenly slides off the edge of the swing and she falls backwards, managing to land on her butt instead of her head. Smiling, Hannah walks over and reaches out, a hand to help Izzy up.
Hi, Izzy. It's good to see you.
Izzy climbs to her feet, using Hannah's arm to pull herself up rather than being pulled. The two of them wrap each other in an embrace, and I have to look away or else I'll tear up. Leave it to me to start crying at someone else's hug. Finally, Quinn gets here with Curiosity in tow. As they come into view, I'm pretty sure I see them stumble with momentary hesitation, but it doesn't stop them, and the pair walk over to where we're waiting. Already can see Hannah fidgeting a little bit. I hop up to my feet with a grin.
Hey, you two!
I put on my biggest, most enthusiastic, I'm not gonna let this be an awkward silence attitude that I can. So bright that it'd be weirder for them to not respond than to respond. It works, and they join us with a sheepish look.
Hey.
Hello.
Hannah's instant, tense reply comes with a jerky wave and a smile that I can tell she wants to believe in. Izzy hops up just like I did, arms extended towards Quinn. I sort of expect them to dodge away, but they don't. They hug Izzy back, and then, after a shared look of uncertainty, hug Hannah too.
Wow. I have not witnessed Quinn engage in so many social interactions since I first met them. You three truly must be very special to them.
Okay. I think it was today when I was out driving home from somewhere. I don't remember where. I think it might have been, it was either therapy or, yeah, it must have been therapy. I didn't really go anywhere else today. It was coming home from there, and I just saw a dog out, and I just got like super excited because I love dogs, I love cats, just like anything, like the household pets essentially. Like I love them, and I realize I don't want to like diminish Curiosity at all. I'm not saying like Curiosity is like a pet or anything, but Curiosity gives me like the same excitement as seeing like a dog, if that makes any sense, because they're just so cute, so innocent. Exactly, they give very uppy vibes, you know, like again, like they're just so sweet and innocent and like lovable, and like I don't know, they're just like a great companion for Quinn, and it's just like they just give the same energy as like a dog in like the most complimentary way I can, you know? Because again, it's all out of love that I'm saying this. I'm just trying to express like these are like the feelings of love that I get for them, you know? While Quinn's face turns bright red, Hannah and Izzy seem to notice Curiosity for the first time.
Yo, Quinn, who's your conscience?
Greetings. My name is Curiosity. Quinn is my friend. It is a pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too. I'm Hannah.
You must be Hannah Reed. I've heard a lot about you.
Quinn abruptly steps in front of Curiosity before they can start sharing any of those details.
Curiosity and I travel together. They're
pretty special for a robot.
Oh, they're the best bot. Come on.
The two of you have met before.
Yep, I met Curio the same day I saw Quinn again.
Curio. Does that refer to me?
Yeah, it does. I guess it's a nickname. Do you like it?
I have never had a nickname before. I have not had a name for very long either. I would be very grateful to receive this one.
They're so cute.
All right, Curio. Welcome to the team.
Izzy whoops and claps her hand, while Hannah looks simultaneously amused and embarrassed by the commotion. I clap a couple times too, and even Quinn looks happy for the robot companion. Somehow, it's that simple. Not only is it easy to welcome someone new into the group, but there's a group for them to join. There's some tension still, I'm not blind. Those bonds that once connected us, that I was so afraid had been broken forever, they're still here.
Summer, are you alright?
Oh no, Summer's so real for this. Just cry. Get it all out there. It's so valid right now.
I'm fine.
With a big sniffle, I managed to keep most of the waterworks away. Slowly, everyone stands up, taking what I still think of as their usual spots. Quinn leans against one of the playground support beams while Curiosity goes down the... Oh my gosh! While Curiosity goes down the slide and then jets back up to the top to do it again. You are the most precious thing to ever exist. Hannah takes a seat on some of the stairs, stretching her legs out. Izzy dangles from one of the monkey bars, even though she's too tall for it to really work. Quinn clears her throat to get everyone's attention.
So, I said it in my message, but I'm sorry for just leaving all those years ago. Over something as small as a birthday party. It was stupid. Ever since then, I've wished that I hadn't. But I didn't think any of you would want to hear that, and I understand if any of you can't forgive me for it.
Oh. Although they're talking to everyone, I can see that Quinn's looking right at Hannah, who's staring at the ground. Hannah mumbles something in response that I'm sure none of us can hear, but before anyone can ask her to repeat herself, she straightens up, tears in her eyes.
Of course I do. I missed you just as much as everyone else.
For the first time since they arrived, Quinn really smiles. Curiosity, on the other hand, looks confused. Yeah, so am I. I wonder just how much Quinn told them about us, and what. Noticing that giant question mark on their friend's face, Quinn gets a little red again.
It was...
Hanners was busy and couldn't make it to Quinn's birthday party, and Quinn felt like she didn't want to be there.
Oh, thank you, Izzy, for just saying it, and just stating it as a fact instead of being, accusatory anyway. Just making it real simple for us. Although they both look kind of embarrassed, Quinn and Hannah both nod.
Pretty much.
I could have made more of an effort, it's true. I regretted it the minute it was too late.
Curiosity looks up at Izzy in wonder.
Thank you. That was most efficient communication.
That's what I'm saying!
I'm just telling it like it is.
Out of the corner of her eye, Izzy winks at me. The way she tells the story is true. Hannah was supposed to come back to Florel, but decided not to take the time off from school. Quinn, feeling hurt, left and never came back. And so suddenly, it was just Izzy and me. Although the two of us hung out together a couple of times after that, it never felt right. Like the absence of Hannah and Quinn was a black hole, a void that we couldn't fill. After a bit, we stopped trying. Ever since then, we've been all on our own, apparently wishing that we weren't. It sounds so simple and dumb, mostly because it is. Eventually missing them just became normal, and so it all remained unsaid. But here, tonight, it all feels right again. The four of us talked for at least a couple hours, although the time flies by. Hannah's the first one to yawn, setting off a chain reaction that spreads to the rest of us, and makes me realize just how late it's gotten. I know we're all going to have to part ways again I know that we're all going to have to part ways again soon, but I'm determined to make sure it's not the last time. When there's a lull in the conversation, I hop to my feet, my butt sore from sitting in a kid's swing for so long. But somehow, I don't mind the pain at all.
Hey, so tomorrow, the CosCon. I'd love to see it with all of you. Like this, together, if, you don't have any other plans.
I'm already prepared to be turned down, since it wouldn't be a surprise if they're busy.
I'd like that. My parents will enjoy their time together, I'm sure.
Yeah, my moms are gonna make a whole date out of it, too.
Might shock ya, but I'm not busy either. You bet I'll be there.
Good, you better be.
What about us, Quinn? Will we be joining?
Please say yes.
I'd like to. Yeah. As long as you're up for it.
I do want to. I've enjoyed spending time with my friends tonight.
Oh, never change.
Then it's settled.
I clap my hands together for emphasis.
Tomorrow night at the usual spot?
Everyone agrees and we all pair up for one more round of goodbye hugs before everyone heads back home for the night. Even after I'm alone again, I linger in the park a little bit longer, staring up at the stars. As I slowly make my way home, the joy I feel in my heart right now is unlike anything I can remember, at least not in recent memory. Up in the sky, a bright light catches my eye as the light goes streaking across. It's a real shooting star this time. Smiling, I look down and focus on the path ahead of me. There's nothing I can think of to wish for. Oh, let's go. It may as well... Okay. Listen. That felt like I was like building up to like the end of the demo, and I was just saying that thing the whole time, like, please, not yet, don't end. Please. And then it didn't, so my wish came true. So I'm happy about that. It may as well be a holiday. The buildings are empty, and the streets are full of people dancing, laughing, and singing. Our planet is the kind of place that people visit to relax and sightsee safely. If you come here, it must be because you really like grassy plains and rivers. We don't have any crazy geology or galactically famous cities or people. Nothing that's exciting or special. No, but like, just saying as like, if you like grassy plains and rivers, this is where I'd want to visit. So we'll take every chance we can to have a celebration. There's a party on every corner of the city as my moms and I pass through. Rainbow-colored streamers are draped over the plain stone columns and bricked walls. A new mural, drawn by the kids at one of the local schools, has just been unveiled. A few streets away, there's a symphony performing. It's too far to hear what songs they're playing, but close enough to catch the occasional melody. I'm sure that once I leave to meet up with the others, my parents will end up at the concert. Ma can't hear a violin without crying at how beautiful it is. Kids charge past us carrying brightly colored party lasers. Their parents are over at one of the booths where artist renditions of what people think the cosmic concurrence, I struggled really hard with that word, cosmic concurrence will look like, are on display. Since nobody's quite sure what to expect tonight, the plan seems to be to celebrate in every way possible. We do the usual gift giving, visiting folks who live in the city to bring them fresh produce. Usually we leave with armfuls of whatever they've got, cheese or eggs or other things that we don't grow ourselves. But today we pass on all of that so we don't have to carry it around. Later, one of us will come pick it up on the grocery ship instead. I'm starting to read all of a sudden. Hannah's somewhere in town, doing the same stuff I am with her family. They don't grow anything, but both her parents are geniuses at fixing things. Bikes, computers, robots, you name it. Anytime something breaks, you know to take it to the Reed family for assistance. Sometimes Hannah helps too, but she's not exactly great at delicate handiwork. After a couple incidents where things ended up more broken than before, I think they've all agreed that Hannah's not cut out for it. She's great at designing though, and helping her folks figure out what to do. As for Izzy, she mentioned something about doing some babysitting before she meets up with us. As much as she complains about them sometimes, she's really good at being a big sister and looking out for the rest of her family. Outside of the time we spent together, Izzy and my childhoods were about as different as could be. Having my 3 friends over was about as full as our house ever got. My parents loved all of them, but they also like having peace and quiet and time for their gardens. I almost said grandkids, and that's very different. I'm an only child for a reason. Oh, it's so pretty during sunset. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it's just so pretty to look at. I was just saying they're like admiring it all. Oh. As the day starts to turn into evening, the excitement only grows. People who had been sitting around and chatting are now pacing around eagerly. A lot of folks glance at the sky and smile, glad that the clouds are gone. Others have already gotten cozy in their spots where they'll watch for the night, and are fixated on the sky, even though there's a couple hours to go. Eventually I say goodbye to my moms, who hurry off to hear the final songs from the symphony. I head to the station and catch a shuttle that takes me closer to the meeting spot with everyone else. The train is full of people going in every direction. Hardly anyone is staying home tonight. I reach my station and disembark right at the brink of twilight. It's been years, but I know this path like the back of my hand. Just past the end of the sidewalk, there's a small slope that leads to another trail. That one follows the river for a bit before splitting off towards the trees and hills. I cross through the woods using the familiar landmarks. An old burnt tree, a rundown shack with nothing inside, a fallen log. It makes me happy to see that they've withstood the test of time, and that I'm not lost. The last step is climbing up a series of hills until finally, I reach the top, our secret spot. It's not the tallest hill around, but it offers one of the best views. You can see clear onto Petal Streak over the tops of the trees and buildings. This game's so pretty. I can't even. Like, every single background has just been, like, I could have this as my wallpaper, and it would be perfect. The grass here is thick and lush, and perfect for lying down in. We nicknamed this place Stargazing Hill, but it was good for more than that. It was great for napping, or for doing homework, or just coming to be an angsty teenager alone. It was also great for picnics with friends and camping trips, and at once-in-a-lifetime cosmic events. We discovered it a long time ago, exploring after class. It seemed awfully far away from school and from homes at the time. That was part of the appeal. Now I'm glad it's as close as it is. A station hop and a short hike are nothing. I noticed a Quinn-shaped silhouette sitting on the ground nearby, almost hidden by the grass. They wave without facing me, so I make my way over.
Am I that noisy?
Curiosity spotted you coming up the hill. You're the first one here.
Third, counting you two. How long you been here?
A while?
We have been staying on this hill for 117 hours,
Wait, what?
19 minutes, and 34 seconds.
Excuse me, is this like where you're like staying at? I mean, they did come in on like a ship, I'm assuming, since it sounds like that's what they do. So it's like their ship around here somewhere, or are they just like sleeping in the grass?
Wait, that's... You've been here almost a week?
Oh.
Yeah, since we landed. This is where we've been staying.
Leave it to you to pick the coolest place and not tell anyone.
I wasn't trying to hide it. It just never came up.
Uh-huh, sure.
They look up at me, worry plainly written in their face. I shouldn't be surprised that they're still a little guarded. It's been a while.
Just teasing, don't worry. Mind if I sit down?
Sure.
Oh, the portrait of them holding Curiosity. Oh, that's adorable. They scoot over and I plop down just beside them. The thick grass sways gently in the breeze, a whispering blanket that stretches all the way back to town.
It hasn't changed at all, has it?
Gazing out at the unfolding evening, I know what they mean. There are a few more homes and buildings now than there were before, a few marked trails and pathways where there used to be none. Up here though, looking out from afar, I feel the same way as I did a couple days ago, looking out from the radio tower. Knowing that there's more out there and wanting to see it for myself. We used to stand on this hill and swear that someday we'd see it all. Cities, planets, galaxies, whatever. It never mattered where. All we wanted was adventure, to see and share something special with each other. Once we were old enough for it, real life got in the way. But now that it's come full circle now that I'm here again with Quinn with the others on their way...
You're right. It's exactly the same.
Hang on, I feel a sneeze coming on, hang on. Oh no, is it just gonna sit there? It's just gonna tease me, it's just gonna make... okay, wait, the feeling's faded, we're good. Emergency avoided. They smile, nothing more needs to be said. Before long, Curiosity stirs.
They here?
Yes, the others are arriving now.
Hannah and Izzy crest the hill. Izzy's in front with Hannah trailing behind.
Hey, you two!
I hop up to greet them.
Yo!
Hello. There.
Hannah's somewhat out of breath, but she manages to straighten up and smile.
We're not late, are we? I ran into Hanners on the way here and couldn't just leave her behind.
We have plenty of time, I told you.
Uh-huh. You sure we're taking yours?
I was walking at a perfectly reasonable pace, thank you. You were the one who was convinced we could find a shortcut.
Look, I did what I had to make sure we got here on time.
Hannah glares at Izzy, who gives her the utmost innocent face she can manage in return. For Izzy, that's not saying much. But both of their expressions melt into smiles at the same
I
time.
can't believe I missed you.
Hey, me either.
Nope, nothing's changed.
Come on, we're over here.
I return to my spot next to Quinn and Curiosity. The new arrivals find a place to get comfy too. Hannah settles down on the grass where she is, and Izzy wastes no time sprawling on her back and taking up enough space for 3 people.
So, can someone explain to me what we're gonna actually see tonight? Everyone's talking about it, but I don't know what it is.
Ayo, dog, same. I don't think anyone knows what it is.
Another universe is passing by ours. When it's closest, we'll be able to see it.
Okay, I guess I knew that part. Okay, I knew that part. I just didn't know like what to expect. But that's the part that's the part that nobody does.
See, what?
No one knows. That part's unpredictable.
What? How do we even know what's gonna happen then?
It's been calculated. At first, there was an anomaly in the routine measurements that were taken, and then once the Galactic Observation Department started looking into it, they...
You know what? Never mind. I'll just take your word for it.
We pass the time like this, chatting and laughing. Although I chime in here and there too, I'm perfectly content to listen more than to talk. To listen and to watch and to just be. Stargazing Hill stays ours alone, but I can see signs of life all over town. The glow of a campfire or phone, the distant sound of ominous laughter and anonymous laughter are two very different things. It's anonymous laughter. Observation drones dart around overhead. Some belong to researchers, while others are just watching for fun. Tonight could be just as important for science as it is for dreams and friendships and me. After knowing that I had at least some small part in all this, that my hours of stacking chairs or directing guests or any of the other little tasks that have filled my time, have all contributed to this one moment. To me, Florel has never seemed more alive. Ooh, ooh. The sky darkens and more stars emerge. Quinn leaves for a bit to grab a blanket from their ship, giving us a place to sit once the grass and dirt gets too cold. We stay cozy despite the chill. And then, right at the expected time, curiosity lights up with excitement.
Celestial noise detected. Something is about to happen.
Izzy and Hannah cut off mid-bicker. All five of us rise, turning to face the stars. At first, there's nothing. Then a thin, golden light begins to stretch overhead, an explorer charting its way through the sky. A deep rumbling reverberates through me, like the bassy notes of a symphony earlier. Sorry, I started getting distracted by the zooming in on the sky. Except different. It's not a rumbling. I can hear. Just one that I can feel. Glancing at my friends, I can tell that they're experiencing it too. Oh, that's so cool. See, I kept getting distracted by, like, that happening, that I kept, like, looking up while I was trying to read. I was like, this is not working for my brain. As it intensifies, I also notice a giddy elation spreading through me, an intoxicating, full-body energy that I'm not sure comes from the cosmic concurrence, or just my own pure excitement. The sky ripples like a sheet of paper, shaking with anticipation as well. For a second, it looks like the stars might fall. Several of them seem to shine brighter, shaken to life. The hues of their glows begin to change green and purple and gold, and the light they spread drifts like fairy dust. Wherever the sky is painted with the light, it seems to tremble, alive and wanting to be free. Then as more and more of the sky is illuminated, an image of something begins to take form. It's a window to another world. No, a whole other universe. There's a city. It's not one I know, but it still strikes a feeling of recognition somehow. The buildings are all so tall and so close together. They remind me of the tall towers of Petal Street, but different. It's the middle of the day over there, or maybe closer to sunset. Early enough that their sunlight is almost blinding against our night sky. It reminds me of watching a movie in a dark room. There must be so many people just out of sight, in this one little slice that we can see. I wonder if they're looking right back at us. I can't help but imagine how that city must look during its own nighttime, all lit up from far away. I'll bet you could count the lights from here, just like you can try to count the stars. And how much farther does it stretch out past the edges? All those people who must live there, I wonder if they're any different from us, what their lives are like compared to my own. What a funny coincidence for our universes to brush together like this. I wonder if we'll ever cross paths again, or if this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Once in everyone's lifetime experience. The other day, Olitha told me that she wishes she had seen and done more while she still could. I've never really thought much about just how much there is out there to see. Now that I do, I shiver. I've seen 0% of my own universe, and now here I am thinking about other ones? It's kind of overwhelming. I could travel for my entire life and not even see a fraction of what exists. I look around at my 4 friends. I had expected Quinn to be kind of immune to big spectacles like this one, so I'm glad to see them watching, slack-jawed. No matter how far they've gone since I last saw them, they came back for this. Curiosity ignoring the sky entirely. Instead, instead they're looking at Quinn, with the robot equivalent of whatever Quinn is feeling right now. This must be the first time they've seen this kind of response from Quinn. That is so cute. That they're more distracted by Quinn than the sky. That is like the same like level to them of amazement. That's awesome. Izzy is watching from close by, with her hands in her pockets. Even though she used to make fun of sentimental stuff like this, I can tell she's different now. Or maybe she just stopped pretending. Either way, I like this new Izzy. Just as fierce as ever, but more mature. Maybe that's only natural now that we're older, but still. It's always a shock when you realize your friends have changed. When I glance at Hannah on her other side, we end up making eye contact for half a second, but she instantly looks back at the concurrence. I'm proud of Hannah. Out of all of us, she's the one who's always been chasing the same dream. I'm glad that this time, that chase brought her back here. The foreign light twinkles in Hannah's glasses, a tiny, miniature version of the scene we're watching. All of us together, and a whole universe before us. I wish this moment could last forever. It can't, of course. Without warning, the colors at the boundary of the celestial window begin to fade. Its already hazy edges start to dissipate as the light collapses in on itself. The image of the city shimmers and gets fuzzy. Like patchwork on a heavenly quilt, the top and bottom come together to meet each other, leaving pristine night sky behind them. In just seconds, there's nothing left but a brightly glowing seam where the two edges connected. Even that gets dimmer by the second, and before long, it's gone too. There's just us. Us and the breeze and the stars. For just a moment, the whole planet pauses and reflects. Then one by one, the lights in town start to come back to life. It's over. I close my eyes, exhaling. Nobody speaks, and nobody moves. Not for a long time. It's Hannah who finally breaks the silence.
Quinn, have you ever seen anything like that before? Out there in the galaxy?
No. Nothing like that. Planets, sure. But whole other universes are new for us.
You still doing poetry? How would you write about it?
I don't know yet. I have to think about it.
They're quite fond of your adjective, magnificent.
Think? What do you have to think about? Go with your gut! Whatever your first reaction was.
That's not how poetry works.
Maybe not for you.
What was your first reaction, Izzy?
Easy. I thought it looked like a mustache.
She's so real for that. She's so right too. Oh my gosh.
Mustache?
Yeah, didn't you see it? It started here, and then it went like this.
She draws the shape in the air with one finger. Shaking her head, Hannah gazes back at the night sky, which has gone back to being so normal looking that it's almost absurd.
It was like a beautiful painting to me. The longer I looked, the more I saw. But I don't know if I could ever put it into words or describe it for someone else.
What about you, Summer?
I hear them say my name, but I can't speak.
Some?
Because as soon as I do, I'll cry. Keeping my eyes shut is barely working.
Summer?
But then, why hold back? I ask myself, who cares if you cry? Tears leak out of my eyes.
I felt like I didn't want it to end. All of it. The CosCon, being here on the hill, being with the four of you. It's what I've been hoping for so long. You guys don't even know. It's the most right I've felt in years. Just being together, chatting, laughing. I've missed it all so much. All of you. And
My voice cracks, but I don't care. I'm done not saying how I feel. I don't want to keep regretting it forever.
I don't want things to go back to how they have been, where we never talk to each other. I want things to be like they were.
I look away from the flowers I've been staring at, and back at my friends. I've never stopped calling them that, but I want it to mean something again.
No, not just that. I want to make new memories with you all. I want to pick up where we left off. If you all want that too.
Hannah sniffles. Of course she's crying as well.
I'd love to. Really, I would.
You already know I'm in. You don't even have to ask.
Izzy slings one arm around Hannah in an enthusiastic hug. Hannah smiles but pretends to be bothered. Curiosity drifts into the center of everyone, a big smile on their face.
I've greatly enjoyed the time you've already spent together.
Aw, us too, Curiosity. Thanks for looking after Quinn all this time.
Quinn themselves blushes and scratches their head, reflexively starting to turn away but stopping. They're still getting used to this again too.
Yeah. Curiosity has really helped me through a lot, but like I said in that text, I really do miss all of you. I'd like for us to be friends again too. Actually, me and Curiosity don't have any plans right now. There's nowhere we're going next, so if all of you, or any of you...
Whatever you're about to say, yes, I'm in. The more Quinn talks, the faster their words start to tumble out.
If there's anywhere you'd like to go or like to see... We could, in my ship... I could take us, I mean... if you wanted.
All of us look at Quinn, who wilts a little under the attention, as we take in what exactly it is they're offering.
Anywhere?
I can only whisper the word. It feels so big, so full of potential.
Yeah. I was thinking... We always used to talk about it, right? But we never could. If you don't want to anymore, that's fine. Or if you can't. I get it if
A quick glance at Hannah.
anyone's busy.
Shaking her head with a smile, Hannah seems unbothered.
That sounds great. There's a lot of time to make up for, after all.
Throwing her hands up, Izzy lets out a whoop.
Woohoo! Road trip time!
I take it that means you're in too, then.
Of course! Wouldn't miss it for the world. Any world.
And then, of course, they all turn to look at me. It would be so funny if Summer was just like, actually, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I don't want to go on a space road trip. Nah. And just it would just ruin everything. Like, I have to think about it. Like, I have to make up my mind. There's not a single reason I'd say no. Not ever. But especially not tonight. I feel a grin spread across my face, like the miracle we just witnessed.
Let's go. Anywhere. I don't care where. I just want us to do it together.
No! No! Come on! No! No, a little bit more! That was so abrupt! Oh, that caught me so off guard. And this picture of Curiosity is so cute. Oh, I can't get over how fast, how out of nowhere it just stopped. I was expecting that scene to like come to an end, and then it'd be like a fade out, maybe like a little song plays, and it's like, haha, the demo's over. But that's so funny. Thanks for playing our demo. We'd love to know what you thought of it. Click the link below to open a survey in your browser to tell us. Your feedback helps us make the game better. Absolutely. I probably won't do that on stream just because, again, I did work a long day today and my hands are already kind of feeling like a little tired. So I'll probably fill that out later on my own time, just when my hands start feeling a little bit better. But is this like a place that we can save it? Like, how does that... Can I just work on this? How does that work? Hang on. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we can like also return to title and then I can just load it back into that. That's fun. Is there credits? No, I won't open it. Okay. I was just thinking if there's anything else for us to look at in the demo. Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Wait, excuse me, what is this? Excuse me, what is this in my chat? What is going on? Two at the same time? What is this? Hang on. Let me take care of that while we talk. Cringe. Exactly. Cringe. The fact that it happened two at the same time. Hang on. I haven't had to do this someone in a long time, so I need to look up how to do it again. Oh no. Pick the band user button directly in chat. There's a band user button? I don't remember that. But anyways, that was... These guys are so cringe. I can't believe that. I hate it that people do that. That was so freaking good. I didn't want it to end. That's one of the reasons, like, the ending probably caught me, like, so off guard, is just because I just wasn't expecting it, you know? I was just sitting there. No, that's a block button. Hang on. I was just sitting there, like, not expecting it to keep going, but just hoping with everything that I am that's like, no, just come on, like, give us another scene. Just one more. Just another scene. And then it ended, and I was like, oh, my heart. I can't. There's a part of me that's like, I'm like... Wait, hang on. I figured it out. Let's go. Hang on. Let's see if this works. Womp. Wait, what? They don't exist, but they're right there. Okay, I guess the band's not gonna work. I'll keep looking into this while we talk. But no. It's exactly like how I felt like when we finished the Tith and Blood demo, where it's just like, that was so incredible, and I'm so okay with everyone taking as long as they need to make this as good as possible. But it's also like, but like if I could just have it right now, that'd be so awesome though. That'd be so good, because I genuinely didn't want to stop playing that. Like, I'm just sitting here like, oh man, why can't I just play more of this, like, next week, you know? Because everything about it is so good. Like, I didn't want to, like, interrupt myself, like, every, like, 5 seconds while reading it to be like, oh my gosh, this art's so pretty, but, like, that, especially, like, that, last, like, shot of them all at the end, where they're all staring up at, like, the sky, I'm like, oh, the lighting on this is so freaking good, and it's all so well drawn. I love it. And then, like, one of the things that, like, I don't know, one of the things I think, like, helps, like, with Studio Lane stuff a lot, I'm trying to think of, like, the best way to word this, is, like, how good the voice acting is. Because, like, you know, sometimes you'll hear, like, some lines being read, and it's like, you know, that's not, like, bad or anything, but it's not really, like, changing my opinion of something. Whereas, like, all of the, like, the voice actors in this are all so good, where it's like every line that they read is already, like, good, but then it's made even better by how they deliver it. Like, there are some lines that are, like, being said, I'm like, again, that's already so good, but the way you're saying it makes it even better, which gives the character so much more personality, makes it so much more fun to, like, read and listen to. That's like, everything about, like, these games are so, like, cohesive and so well put together. It's just, it's hard to not have, like, a good time while reading it. I don't know. Hang on. I'm still trying to figure out the band thing. Don't mind me. I'm just stupid. Yoink. Hang on. It keeps telling me that the user doesn't exist. I'm not entirely sure how they did that. I'll just hit the block button for now. I'm not too worried about it. Hopefully everyone knows to not, like, click on these things. So if I block these people, I believe that they shouldn't be able to, like, put anything in chat still. But it's just annoying and crappy that people do that regardless. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm not too sure what else to say about it outside of, like, I'm excited for it. And listen. If you guys out there, like visual novels and, like, want to get into them, like, absolutely, like, get into, like, this one. It's so good. I loved it. Like, I'm just sitting here like, visual novel fans are going to be eating so good, because there's a Tith and Blood, and then there's one other one that has a demo. I think it's Love in a Bottle. I have it downloaded. We can just check that out really quick. Ba-bump. We have, yeah, Love in a Bottle demo. I have that. So, like, if that one's also good, it's just like, oh my gosh, look, we have 3 amazing projects to look forward to. That's awesome. And then we also have all the Game Jam stuff at the end of this month. So we have, like, there's so much, like, good visual novel content coming out soon, like, or just like coming up in general, even if not necessarily soon. It's just like, oh, we're eating so well right now. I'm so excited. But we probably won't play that demo next time we play a game. The plan I have for now is to get into Twofold, just because we read First Snow, and that was really good, and I loved it. And then I've heard nothing but praise for Twofold. Like, excuse me, I had a tiny little burp there. I apologize. I've just like, whenever like it gets brought up like anywhere, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is like one of, if not like my favorite visual novel. It's a masterpiece. It's incredible. It's so good. So I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be amazing. I know it's gonna be amazing just off of the experience of reading First Snow and like everything else like that's like been put out. I'm like, I know it's gonna be great. I know it's gonna be incredible, and everyone's hyped it up. So I'm like, I need to get into that. And then probably after that, we'll probably do the Love in a Bottle demo and like go from there. I do plan to like start reading more Studio Lane stuff outside of just for Women Wednesdays, just because I kind of want to like, something I realized is that it's hard to like go into other people's like streams and they're also doing like Studio Lawn stuff without like it getting stuff spoiled for myself essentially. So I'm like, with Rat, like I was like, I think it was like, was it last week when we rated them? I think it was last week when we rated them. I was like, oh, they're playing Highway Blossoms, like that's so fun. So I stayed around and chatted a little bit and whatever, and like stayed in the stream. But then I was like, as soon as she started playing again, I was like, I should probably get headed out. I don't want to get spoiled. So I'm like, you know what? Just for the sake of avoiding spoilers and being able to like interact and enjoy like all these games with everyone, I'm like, I want to start getting into and finishing like all of the Studio Lawn games essentially. That's my plan, to start doing more of them. Not exactly sure I'm going to work that out, like scheduling to do it all, while also reading other visual novels and stuff, and like maybe getting back into playing games at some point, question mark. But like that's like the general plan. But yeah, I think that's gonna be all, because I kind of said it all, like all my thoughts about the game in the last stream, where I just think like the story so far is like, I'm like, with the story, I'm very interested to see where it's going, because it's obviously very character driven, which I'm super down for. Character driven stories, like, because like to me, characters are the most important part of a story. So if like the entire story is like very about the characters, then like that's so fine with me. I'm so here for it. And it's like, and then to have all the characters be so good and well written and entertaining, it's like, I already love all four of them so much. And like even like all the other characters who like aren't here on like the starting screen, like Olitha, I'm like, oh, Olitha's so fun. And then both of Summer's moms, I'm like, oh, they're great, they're awesome. So it's like, I can't wait to like get more into this and like see more sides of all of these characters and like everything. And like, I'm so excited for like a space road trip, because I'm sure there's probably something that's been done in like other films or like other like books or other media and whatever, but like this is my first time like seeing something like it. So I'm like, it sounds so cool. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and end the stream there. Thank you so much for everyone who came out tonight. It was so much fun. I appreciate everyone for being here. And Theo, good luck and have fun with whatever you're working on. Keep on working hard. With that being said, good night.